Yo, what's up, you guys? This week we have two camera angles because we're doing a video about film development. Now, this is one that I find it very interesting because it's probably one of the hardest pieces of the entire process that a lot of people get nervous with. So I wanted to show you how to go from the back of the camera and being able to actually get your film out of the back of your camera and into the Paterson tank without exposing it to light. Now, this one specifically, I do have a dummy roll that's already been exposed, so I will go from basically this to inside the Paterson tank, and I'm going to show you the whole thing. But the interesting part of this video is that normally when you do this process, you have to do it inside either a dark room, a changing bag, or a box of some kind, something where the light isn't, like, there's zero light, right? So for this one, I would normally do it in a changing bag like this one, which is why I have this laid out here. But for this, since I want you guys to be able to see it, I've given you this secondary angle to actually see all of the different pieces. And I'm going to do it outside the changing bag so you're able to see it. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to do it blindfolded. That way I can't see what I'm doing, and it's basically like I'm having to do it blind. Because normally you'd just be looking at the outside of the bag, and it's mostly by feel. So I'm going to show you all that process. I have a little timer over here. We'll see how long it takes me. This isn't necessarily like going to be a super run through because I am a little rusty, but I wanted to show you kind of like what maybe to expect when running into this, and maybe some things you'll see along the way. So if that interests you, stick around and we'll get into it. So before we actually get into the process of it, let's talk about all the different pieces and how they work together. So when you're talking about getting your film, what you need to do is go from the back of the camera, and it'll be basically rolled up on this side, still attached to the canister, but it'll be mostly on this side. For this one, I've only done a few spins to get some of the film on this side of the actual camera. So what we're going to do is basically roll this up, put it back inside the canister, and then that's where you're going to have your film ready to start the development process, or at least this part of the process. So we'll go through that, but once we get out of that process, the rest of it is going to happen inside this changing bag, essentially, or inside the changing bag. We're going to do it on top, but I'm going to use this blindfold to give me that same ability to not have to see. I can't see anything that's going on. So what we'll do is actually, from there, we'll crack open the 35 millimeter film canister with this little guy right here, which is essentially just that. It's just kind of like a bottle opener to crack open your the canister itself. From there, the hardest part is actually getting it on this roll. And if you can see right here, let me show you on this camera. There's actually two little balls that allow you to kind of spin this in to, if it'll focus, there we go. It'll focus, and you're going to put them in here. And then from there, you actually attach, you're trying to get it to snag on that little silver ball there. And from there, you're simply just like this, trying to actually get it to roll onto the roll. So once you get it started, that's basically the end of the process, because then it's just this super easy. Then you're going to put it on the actual little spindle here, which allows you to agitate once it's inside the tank. So it essentially will look like that, except with film. You'll drop it down in there to look something like that or like that. And then from there, you're actually going to put the top of the canister, which gives you that light lock basically. And you would put this directly on top of this, snap it in there, and it should sound something like that. That way it gives you an audible feedback to know that you're not going to have a light leak in your canister. From here, you can actually pour all of your chemicals in. So this is how it should look. Obviously, once you have this on here and everything is as it should be inside the tank, this is now light sealed. So you shouldn't have an issue as far as taking this out of the bag. Sometimes when I'm in the bag, I'll actually go ahead and put the top of the tank on it. That's kind of just my thing. The only other piece here that I didn't mention in this process is once we take it out of the canister, we like to snip it away from the canister with the scissors, and also the film on the end. We can actually cut off a little bit of the end to try to give us a nice square front to help us getting into the actual spindle. So from here, I have hopefully you can see in the second camera, I have a timer set up. We're going to see how long it takes me to do this process from the back of the camera into the tank, and basically through the whole thing, I'm going to be blindfolded. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so for this one, we know we have our film is already exposed. So for mine, I know I have to hit this little button down here, and then we're going to wind it all up. So you can hear, now you can see that's kind of hard to feed through or whatever. So now we know that all of our film is back here. We're going to pop this open, giving us a roll which has not been exposed, which is awesome. We've done that right so far. We now have our canister. We can close our camera, giving us just our film. So from here on out, I have to be blindfolded because now we would essentially have all of these things inside our changing bag for this. So hence why I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to put these here. And now, of course, somebody's going to say something like, oh, you didn't tie it in front of us. But, I mean, it is what it is. So, all right. So I have to go around and actually find all the pieces from here. This is probably one of the most difficult parts at the beginning because you have to get that open. So now you can see that's kind of what that thing is for, which is pretty cool. I guess technically this would still be in the bag, but I mean, usually what I do is I just kind of push it to the bottom. So now we have our film. And you got to make sure that when you're taking it out of here, you might want to even push this open just a little bit more. Try not to scratch it. You can do this with gloves if you want to, so you don't get a whole lot of finger smudges on your film. So I've already kind of got it. It's actually rolling backwards because it hasn't been exposed properly, or it hasn't rolled properly into the other side. It wouldn't necessarily roll that way for you. So mine would look something more of the opposite way. But anyway, so now I'm going to find my scissors. This is kind of what I do with the scissors, though. I find the end. Now, of course, like I said, my hand is a lot closer to that film than it normally would be, but it's rolling the opposite way. So I find the end. I try not to cut myself, but my thumb is kind of on the end of the roll there. So I know I can go back just a little bit and try to get that squared. And then from there on out, that's basically all that I need from there. I can even roll the film, in this case, the opposite direction, because this is how it would be when you take it out of your film roll, because it would have been rolled the opposite way than the way mine was. So, and also, like I said, if you're wearing gloves and it doesn't work out for you, you can also do this too. Just don't touch the middle necessarily. You may want to do it like kind of like the way I'm doing it here, not like me showing it to you or whatever. I think that's a little bit different. But what I like to do, if I have to touch the film necessarily, I will do like the outsides and hold the top of the roll and the bottom of the roll, something like that. Kind of just like a best practice if you have to unroll it or touch it a lot. So this is going to eat a little bit of my time doing this, but I think it'll be easier when I go to show you. So you can see how much 35 millimeters, 36 shots or 24 shots, depending on the roll of your film. But you can tell that this, like, just unrolling it is, like, when you're having to deal with it, a lot of the times I won't take it off of the spool itself. What I would do instead is use the spool as kind of like a guide when I get to that next process. But I've kind of done this a little bit differently because of the way it's rolled. So, but there you can see the end of it is like that. So it's still attached. So what we'll need is our scissors back, wherever I put those. And again, I kind of use my finger as a guide without cutting myself. So I don't put my finger in the blade, but just something like that. So now we have essentially our roll is taken out here. Now the next thing is to find this piece in our bag, and the hard part is to do this one-handed. So you want these two pieces right here to be aligned. So hopefully if I'm showing you that right, these two will be aligned, not like one's canted or pushed forward. You want them both to be even like that, right? So the hard part is to not let go of the film typically. I kind of do that same like pinch on the side without like crushing it, obviously, but I try to do that. And then from there, what I like to do is kind of put my fingers almost like you're going to throw like a curve ball, right? grabbing those 2 points, and then from there I have the end of the roll, and what I'm going to try and do is find where the end meets that point. This is literally the hardest part. This could take you some rolls, it might take you a second, some rolls it might take you an hour. It really just depends. I guess if you're really good with this, it won't take you that long. For me, it takes me a while. And also, if you have something where it's 35 versus medium format, it might take you a little while with 35 millimeter, and then it may not take you any time with medium format because of how big the negative is. But see, now that is threaded through those top 2, so it should look something, hopefully I'm showing it to you, something like that, right? From there, you can kind of let go of the film. Now, obviously, it's going to unspool on me because it's not in the spool. But from here, what I would do is try to shimmy this backwards. And this is another thing you have to think about. You don't want it to snag necessarily. Now, of course, like I said, it's going to unroll on me, but you don't want it to snag down here, because if it does, you're going to end up with pinches, and you're going to see that in your film. So you want it to be really smooth when you're doing this unroll. And something you can try too is, usually I would have the roll on this side of my hand, right? And I would put kind of like a barrier. I don't have to do it with both hands necessarily, but just something to where the film is going to easily kind of spool into it. It's kind of like untangling it here. And then from here, it is literally just like I said. Hopefully, if I do this right and I show you properly, it'll just spool perfectly. So I don't feel any snags, which is really good, meaning that I did nail that initial part, which is kind of the hard part, right? Being able to actually spool it into those 2 little notches with the little silver balls. But if you get it right, you'll feel it. It'll feel just like this. It should slide perfectly without having any snags or tears or anything like that. Now, obviously, this isn't paper; it's film. So if you do have a snag, one thing to think about is just backing it off so you can go the opposite way. So if I'm turning into myself for this one, like I'm turning this way into it, you can turn it the opposite way to get it to unspool a little bit, and you might undo that snag, kind of like maybe mush it down a little bit. If you can get it back to this side of the point or whatever, push it down a little bit, try it again. You just have to play with it a little bit. Like I said, this isn't paper, so you're not going to necessarily tear it because you're not trying to crank on it. But one thing you can think about is trying to repair it. And then on that side, like, it probably will still affect at least that frame, depending on how big the snag is. And that's where you're going to get a little bit of a light leak kind of look on your film for that frame, or however big it might be 2 frames, it might be 3 frames, depending on how big the snag is, I guess, if it were huge. But one little snag is in one frame is not going to kill you, especially when you're talking 36 exposures or 24 exposures for a 35 roll. So here you can see it's kind of pinched a little bit. That's because I've left my points. Where's it at? There we go. Yeah, so you might have that, and I'd still go through the roll. Don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. It'll happen. It happens to everybody. And then on the other side, like, sometimes it actually ends up being cool. I can show you a photo where it actually, there was a pinch on one of my medium format rolls, and it ends up kind of almost looking like, because it was a sun or an outside shot, and kind of like it almost looks like a sun exposure, which is kind of cool. But see, that is the end of the roll. Now this is actually turning up against me because it hasn't been rolled into the canister the other way. It hasn't run through the other side. So it would be, essentially, I'm looking at the back of it, and I should be looking at the front of it, is what I keep saying. But this would roll into the roll, not onto the outside of the roll. So for this one, what you would do is just keep going with it, and it should look something like that. So if I continue to push it for this one, it's going to pop out, I think. Maybe not. No. Oh, well. Okay. So it does a little bit, but again, like I said, it would actually roll into the film if it were rolled the other way. But that is what it should look like. Now, once you have this is like the simple part. Go back to looking in your bag here. We're going to look for that spindle, like I said. This goes into the bottom of the tank. Usually I have most of my stuff kind of like sitting on its side or whatever, and you're kind of like just fumbling through the bag, because a lot of your things will be falling to the bottom if you're trying to do this like sitting like I am, versus like on a table where it's like up at you. But from here, goes to the bottom, and then we find our top piece that gives us that lock. From there we create the seal, and from there it is actually light sealed, so you wouldn't have any issue taking this out of the bag. So if you wanted to take the blindfold off now and actually give you the ability to see, you could undo the bag right now and actually do the rest of this process, the cleanup stuff sorry, my eyes are watering from being in that thing. You could take this out of the bag. You could take all of this out of the bag now, because now you are ready for development, which is super cool, because you're ready for the next process. The only other thing that I like to do, like I said, sometimes I will go ahead and do this inside the bag and actually give me the ability to, just so I don't forget it or whatever. But now that is on and ready to be developed for the next part of the process. But you can see what I'm left with. So if that is the completed process of the tank, I still have my scissors, my busted canister, my 2 snips from the actual 35 roll. So you can see there, now I can see it that I did it crooked. But that's the beginning of it. So when you actually look at the roll of film or whatever, this is kind of like a tail. It's like a leader anyway, if you're familiar with fishing terms. So this is just like the beginning. This isn't a frame that I cut through. There's no actual, this is just film. And then the same way here, this would just be film. There's not an actual exposure or anything like that. So like I said, one thing to think about is actually putting your fingers kind of like with this piece, you can feel where it starts to end. So you can put your fingers something like that and cut off the back of your finger, kind of like that. Kind of like when you see people doing haircuts or whatever. And then all of these 3 pieces would essentially go to the trash. And that is how you go about doing it. Honestly, what's my time? About 12 minutes for that, which isn't bad for a 35 millimeter roll, especially when I'm fumbling around and trying to talk you through it. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so that's the whole process from getting your film from the back of the camera into the Paterson tank, trying to do it in the best way that I could think of to show you that, that it's not that bad, honestly. It can be very difficult sometimes, and sometimes you will end up messing a few things up as far as, like I was saying, with pinching, or if you were going to get smudges on the film. There's a lot of different things that could go wrong, but there's a lot of ways it could go right, and honestly, this is probably one of the easiest ones that I've ever done. So I'm glad I got to capture it on film for you guys to actually show you that it was a really easy process, and it's honestly not that bad. So I'm glad I got to show you a really good one, because this is a great example of what goes right. So hopefully you'll leave me a comment down below if you let me know all of the questions that you have as far as film photography or development, or if you want to see a video where we go from basically where we just ended into the next process, which is actually development, and we take this guy into the bathroom with all of our chemicals and stuff, and we actually mix them up so we can actually create some photos. If you want to see that, leave me a comment down below for that as well. Also, inside the description down below this video is actually all of my links for Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and I hope you'll leave me comments there as well if you want to, letting me know the same stuff. If you want to know more about film photography or photography in general, I hope you'll hit me up on those. I'm on those all the time. I'm a social addict. Beyond that, I hope you will also subscribe and hit that bell notification. That way you get all the new content when it comes out, and I super appreciate all of those things. And with that, I'm going to hit you with the typical, I'm going to peace out, and I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you'll go try this out and let me know how it goes. See you guys in the next one.